and there's some other aspect. Now, this is about the Tara in general, beside what I have mentioned earlier. We have to know about this. The princess, the Bodhisattva manifest from Avalokiteshvara's tear. All of this is historical as well as symbolic as well as essential. No? Historical, symbolic, essential. What does that supposed to mean? Historical means Nirmanakaya. Symbolic means Sambhogakaya. Essential means Dharmakaya. So this aspect, if we don't understand, then we will I use the terminology in English, maybe this is wrong, but it describes well, I think, relativizing the ultimate. So ultimate, we somehow water it down to relative, so that the sacredness and holiness of the whole thing is missed. So therefore, some kind of convenient, easy to understand, easy to grasp become our objective. And why I say this now instead of at the beginning is because you already have learned quite a bit about Tara and few aspects of Tara which is easy to grip. So therefore now I feel I should say this. If I say this at the beginning, then you will be thinking about that all the way. So when I'm talking about each one of the Tara, you're not listening to them because you will be thinking about that. So it is like I give you a spoonful of hottest chili, and then after that give all kind of good food. You cannot taste it. So therefore, I tell you this right now. The Avalokiteshvara is Father. There is historical, symbolic, and essential. And Tara is Mother. There is historical, symbolic, and essential for both of them. And the result of both of them is all the Buddhas, out of which Prince Siddhartha is one of them. And each one of us are their offsprings of the future right now, queued up in line. Yes. On this earth, among human beings, there's 5,000 million of them queued up one after another. Yes. And all other sentient beings as well. If you go to southern part of Africa, not South Africa, but southern half of Africa, there's so many animals, visible animals, big animals, queued up. Millions of them. And from God to hell, countless sentient beings are queued up to be their son and their daughter. You understand? Okay. Now, essential. The essence of this symbolic and historic Tara, symbolic and historic Avalokiteshvara, the father and mother, it is always relevant. That means, from the beginningless time, countless sentient beings reach Buddhahood every moment, non-stop, until today. From today until the last sentient being reached the Buddhahood, every moment, countless sentient beings reach Buddhahood. Every moment. Countless. Every moment. And it is within the big dream of the limitless space. So, relatively, historically, symbolically, everything is happening. Essentially, ultimately, nothing is happening. That is great emptiness. Ultimately, nothing is happening. Relatively, everything is happening. And this is happening in such a magical way, so that even our ignorance is so magical. Not to mention about our wisdom, not to mention about our devotion, not to mention about our compassion, but even our ignorance is so magical. We feel yesterday's me and today's me and day before yesterday's me and last year's me and 54 years ago's me, all same. This is magical. Because even technically I am gone when I can even spell the word I before spelling the M. So I takes how many split seconds? If somebody who have a rapid rapid exposure camera and speed is 2000, I know camera that take 2000 pictures a second. So, but I don't think they can take 2000 pictures, but they can take a picture split second 2000. So you take a picture of a helicopter, it will have all the blades absolutely crystal clear, not even slight blurriness in the sky. Yes. So even if that kind of camera, which cannot take 2000 pictures in 1 second because it's too fast, but it is possible, because if it is not just shutter going up down like that, if it is like this, then possible. Digital. So digital 2000 pictures in 1 second. When I say I, it will have 2000 photograph of me, and each one of them slightly different. Okay. Now, if there is a camera that can take picture of you at the speed of light, that means in 1 second, how many particles the light can cross. So, I don't know, several million, several billion? No, trillion. So, if that kind of camera takes a picture of me saying I, maybe 1 trillion picture, and each one of them slightly will be different. With the present scientific comprehension of our mind, that will be the real me. That will be the real me. But somehow, you're just like a drunk, Yes, this is me, How are you doing? Oh, I'm fine, So this is magic. This is magic. It is so skillfully, so spontaneously dreamt, so that this dream goes on and on and on, and it is so magical that it have no way to describe it. Even you wanted to describe this dualistic, samsaric, ignorant illusion of I, it is ineffable, it is unimaginable, it is undescribable. So this way, the historic you, historic I, it's that little moment, But then that symbolic you and the symbolic me is going on. But how can that be possible? It's because, the essential me and essential you is above, beyond symbolic and historic. Essence of us is beyond this, both of them. Therefore, this is possible. Otherwise, this cannot be possible. So therefore, nothing is happening, everything is happening. It's possible. And same thing with the Tara, same thing with the Avalokiteshvara. Every Buddha will attain through the basic commitment and motivation of reaching the limitless liberation for all sentient beings. That is Changchubje Sem. Who have the Changchubje Sem is Changchu Sempa. And Changchu Sempa, when you have the Changchubje Sem, then you become Changchu Sempa, and this Changchu Sempa reach the Changchu. This Bodhisattva, the Bodhicitta, is Changchubje Sem. Bodhisattva is Changchu Sempa. Then the Changchu Sempa reach the Changchu, the Bodhi. So Bodhicitta, Bodhisattva, the Bodhi. And when you reach the Bodhi, then you are the Buddha. And now this way, the compassion, the bodhicitta is based on two things. One is limitless compassion to all sentient beings, and another is limitless devotion to all the Buddha. And not necessarily it is a Tibetan who is developing bodhicitta, not necessarily it is Hindi who is developing bodhicitta, Hindu, Indian. I think better to say Hindustani. Yeah, it's not only a Hindustani who is developing bodhicitta. It is not even just a Martian from the Mars who is developing bodhicitta, or maybe it is from some another galaxy, some strange sentient being who look like a carpet, flat, and walk by just rolling, rolling, unrolling, you're walking. So not that kind of sentient being, not limited to any type of sentient being, but the definition of, I want it to be free from all suffering. In order to liberate all sentient being from all suffering, by realizing the essence of me and essence of them. That is bodhicitta. And so this method, this wisdom is represented by Avalokiteshvara and Tara. Wisdom is represented by Tara. Method is represented by Avalokiteshvara, and wisdom is represented by Tara. So the union of wisdom and method in harmony, absolute in harmony, manifests the realization. And so union union in a sense of non-dualistic. It is not that you experience enlightenment. It is not that you understand enlightenment. It is not that you discover enlightenment. Some person who landed in some beach and say, I discovered this place, but that place was there for a long time, and there's thousands and thousands of people and animals, and everybody is living there, So it doesn't mean anything. But for that person, that person was ignorant until then that such place exists. So it's actually when I learned that such thing is there. It have nothing to do with that place existed from that time. I have learned about that place from that time. So not like that. Not subjective, not objective, but realization from within. Enlightenment from within. You become the Buddha. It is not that you train and you qualify to be Buddha. You can't go around. You're not going to go around and say that I'm enlightened, and then other people say no. Then you say, no, I'm going to sue you. I'm Buddha. You're not agreeing with me. I'm going to take you to the court. Or I call the police. Not like that. You will be the Buddha when you reach the Buddhahood. You will manifest as the Buddha from within, for the benefit of all sentient beings. And every word that manifests from Buddha manifests for all sentient beings. So, the manifestation of every aspect of Buddha is Tara and Avalokiteshvara. And every Buddha is manifestation of Tara and Avalokiteshvara from the essential point of view. Historical point of view, each one of the Buddha have its own history, in which something represents Tara aspect, something represents Avalokiteshvara aspect. Symbolically, each Buddha will look different. If a human being on planet Earth here reach Buddhahood, it will look like Prince Siddhartha, Buddha Shakyamuni. Before enlightenment will look like a Prince Siddhartha, afterward it will look like Buddha Shakyamuni. But if it is some another universe where the sentient being look like, the the most extreme that I can think of is like a carpet. Then the Buddha will be perfect carpet. Will not look like a Prince Siddhartha, It doesn't make any sense because they cannot relate to it. For them it can't be manifested that way. So according to that sentient being, what will be perfect? The 32 major marks and 80 minor marks and 60 qualities of speech and limitless quality of the mind, Dharmakaya, that will manifest according to the being of that realm and that manifestation. So I wanted to tell you this, and therefore your understanding of Tara will not be just like some kind of fantastic lady somewhere. Yeah. And your understanding of Avalokiteshvara will not be just a fantastic man somewhere, fantastic gentleman somewhere. So it is much more than that. So I want you to understand this. Okay?